So hello everybody, how are you today? In today's video, I am going to show you the new Anomaly Detector API that it was released actually in April, but I just found out on Twitter like 3 days ago. So I thought it was very, very cool to show you. So the Anomaly Detector basically goes through a time series, through, for example, for manufacturing processes, where you are measuring stuff, and you'll set up a upper and lower boundary, and then it will just, check against those boundaries to see if your processes are in control or not, and find points that are not within the boundaries that it should be. So this is very, very useful for manufacturing, as I said. And I'm going to demonstrate the API on Power BI Desktop. We will talk about Power BI Service at the end, okay? So how about we get started? This is going to be super cool. First of all, I'm going to link to the actual tutorial. The Microsoft people at Cognitive Services, I don't know who they are. They do a fantastic job with their documentation. You follow step by step. They don't miss a beat. They explain everything like if you knew nothing, and then you can just follow and do. They are wonderful. The best tutorials I've seen on Microsoft. Congratulations. Really, really good. So we're going to follow along a little bit here and then a little bit on Power BI, okay? I probably will forget to come here, but I'm going to link down below so you have everything. They do a wonderful job. So here they are showing also with Power BI Desktop, and they give you a link to an Excel file here on GitHub. If you click on there, you will be able to get GitHub. When I did my demonstration, or when I did my test, I got the JSON files, but it doesn't matter. It's the same. So we're going to go to Power BI, and we're going to grab the JSON file, basically, not blank query. Okay, whatever. We can delete it later. So let's go to more. We're going to grab the JSON file. You will grab the Excel file. The data is exactly the same, so it doesn't matter. Come on, Power BI. I know it's almost vacation, but you're pushing it. What? What? Okay, I found it. Okay, so here we go. JSON connect. And this is my JSON file. Let's grab it. And we're just going to unpack the JSON so we get the actual data. There you go. And then we connect to table, convert the list to table. And then we are going to just extract the records from the table, okay? So you will get a timestamp and a value. We actually don't need the extra column name. Remove that. I don't know why is that by default. It's so annoying. So now I'm going to show you, but on the here it is. Let me guide you through it so you don't get lost. Here they go through the stuff, getting the data, and then they give you the season function that you can just copy paste into your Power BI file, and with a little bit of tweaks and changes, it will work. I have, here you have to put your API key, here you put your endpoint. I'll show you, don't worry about that. But I have created a function myself, and I created parameters instead of doing like that. So I am actually going to copy that from the run that I did. So I'm going to go to my Power Query and, to the sample file I did before this, just to test that everything was working. This is the function. The function is basically the same, but again, I have here 3 parameters, which is the API key, the endpoint, and the service. Okay, so it is easier to input the data. So I'm going to copy that, go to the sample file, which is in here, paste it, and it's going to paste everything. It will paste the API, the endpoint, and the service. So here's the thing. You are going to need those 3 parameters. How do you find them? let's go back. Cognitive services, you need a Cognitive Services API account. You have the possibility to have a free one in case you haven't, you don't have yet. I do have a Azure account, so I'm using that. And let me see. They don't take you to... Oh no, they don't explain that part. Oh, that's... Okay, so I have to explain that for you. So here it is. You have to go to... I'm going to explain the easiest way to get it, right? So there is Anomaly Detector. So I'm going to give you also this link. Anomaly detection. Here it is. So it says here, create an account for free. You click on that, you'll get that link too. And then it will take you here to the Cognitive Services page. You can also go in here, but just searching Cognitive Services. And in Decision API, here's where you have the Anomaly Detector. If you click on Get an API Key, it will tell you, okay, you want a 7-day trial, or you have a free Azure account, or you have an existing account. I do have an existing account, so we're going to go there. And the good part about doing it this way is because it takes you to the Cognitive Services, to the right place, to the right. The only thing you need to do is to create an account. So you fill in, you put a name, whatever name, your subscription, the location will be Europe for me, pricing tier, and then resource group, okay? So then you click create. And then it will disappear out of the empty, you'll have to go to Cognitive Services search, and then you'll find it there, okay? I'm going to delete this account, so don't bother to copy anything because it won't exist. But I'm going to show you where you find everything. So on the overview, this is the endpoint, okay? So you need to copy this, and you need to copy it without the slash, otherwise you'll get into trouble. So copy that, and then the keys, you go in here, and you copy that. And the endpoint, they give it to you here. So it is this one without the slash, or with the slash. No, you copy with the slash. This is that one. You will get the endpoint on my file. So the only thing that you need to put in is this you will get. You will get the service. That the only thing you need to put in is the API key and the endpoint, okay? So you have to go into your Azure account and find out what your endpoint is and what your API key is. Put it in here, and then your service will be ready to go, basically. So would you do now? Where am I? Am I in? Let's close that one. This is my first test. We don't want to do that there. So here we have the function. What we're going to do is to call in the table that we have in there. But if we go into the advanced editor, you'll see that in there, timestamp has a large, a capital T and a capital V, and I do not have that in here. So I have to change that. So timestamp, and then I have to put here value, okay? Otherwise, it won't recognize the table. So if you want to use this in your own data, you have to give them these names or change it in the function. Either way works. So we're going to put it in there, sample, invoke, and then it says, you know, the formula firewall. It means that is getting the data and taking it to Cognitive Services API. So it's moving your data to an external service to do whatever it needs to do. You need to be aware of that. So it's asking you, is there an issue with that? And for the purpose of this, we're going to say no. If Microsoft has already your data, who cares? If not, think about it, okay? How you get around this, you go to options and settings, and then no, sorry, you go to File, Options, and Options, and then you go to Privacy. Now you go into Privacy and ignore. I'll do it on current file only, okay? So, but if you want, you can change it. I wouldn't recommend you to do that. You click Refresh, and here we have. So now we have timestamp the value, if it is an abnormal value or not, the expected values, positive abnormally, negative abnormally, upper margin, lower margins. Okay, cool. Close and apply. Now we're going to do some magic visualization with this. Okay, if we go in here, they tell you about the privacy. Fantastic work. Very good. Very good. They tell you about how to visualize the data. I don't think that the way they visualize the data was the best. I'm going to show you another way. But if you like it, it is here. Just go and grab it. So they just plot everything in there. And then they do a measure that apparently the extra red, these are the abnormal values. Difficult to see, so I'm going to show you another way in case this is something that applies to you and really want to test it. So this is what we're going to do. Oh, the sample we don't need. Let's go back. Come on, baby. Slow computer today. This is don't enable. We don't want it. Continue. Close. And loaded. Okay, so now here we have our values. Here we're going to create a new measure for the sum of values. You know, you should have always explicit measures instead of implicit. So this is real value, which is the sum of value. Then we're going to have another measure that is going to be upper limit. Maybe write it upper limit, which is the sum of upper margin. And then we're going to have a new one for the lower limit, which is the sum of lower margins. Okay, so now we have our three measures. What we can do is we hide that one, and we have, because we don't need them anymore, right? We have already a measure for that, so why should we have them? And now we start plotting things. Okay, so timestamp, and then we have the upper limit, the real value, and then the lower limit. And what they did was to create a line chart. And I think that you see absolutely nothing in here, actually. So let's do a little bit of work to actually see better what's going on in this data, okay? So the first thing I want to do is to change that into a column with lines, okay? And then I put the real value on the column series. Oh, sorry. the upper and the lower in the line values and the real value in the column is already in there. And now you can start seeing a little bit better what's going on, right? So now you can already see here, especially the points where it is too high. It is quite easy to see here. The ones on the lower one are harder to see, a lot harder. So you could go in here and say, okay, let's put as a categorical axis and put some, no. Show some markers. It starts to make it a little bit clear, but I think this is still a lot harder to see. So what I would like to do is with a little bit of DAX to be able to highlight the points that are higher and the points that are lower, okay, than our margins. So we're going to do conditional formatting. There is a fantastic way to do it using that. So we're going to create a new measure, highlight anomalies equal. So if the real value is bigger than the upper limit, so that means if we are up here, then I'm going to color this, and I'm going to color this. I'm copying the color up there because I don't know the colors, right? And if not, so if the real value is less than the lower limit, we're going to give it another color. Otherwise, we can have it actually white. I'm going to show you white and then I will put another color because I know that you're going to tell me white is a little bit extreme, but just so you see it. Now that we have the DAX measure, we're going to go here into data colors, and we're going to use the conditional formatting that is super hidden in there. This is crazy. There you go. And now we're going to go to field value and we're going to grab our highlight anomalies. And look how cool is that. Now you can see which values are over, which values are under. You might say, maybe to remove the other ones is a little bit extreme. I actually agree with you. So we're going to do like this. We're going to not hide it, but just put them in the background. And the best way to do it is like that. Okay. So you still see the points. You still see who is above. You see who is below. And it is super easy to see. Now, I would love to get rid of these higher and lower limits. I think you don't actually see anything. The only reason why I think that it would be valuable is to see, okay, how far off were we? So how much higher, how much lower were we? And I think that would be definitely useful information. Is the machine way off, or is just like a few millimeters? And depending on the process, that might still be okay, even if it's, you know, out of the boundary that you marked. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to create a new measure. And this time we're going to do the error variance. So we're going to see anomaly. Oh, come on. The DAX editor is just wild. Anomaly error. So Shift Enter. You ready? So we're going to do exactly the same thing. So we say if real value is bigger than the upper, not that one, the upper limit, then what we want to have is a real value minus upper limit. So it gives us the difference, so how far off we are. Otherwise, if real value is smaller than the lower limit, then I think is still value minus lower limit. And excuse me, you could leave it like that, but I want to show you one thing. So now we put the timestamp in there. We put the anomaly error. We put it as a bar chart, column chart. And as you can see, it's actually giving us the small difference, you know, the difference between these 2 points. And that will be very hard to align with the eyes, right? So what we want is that when it's not either higher or lower, that means it's in range, we want to have a 0. Is it there? Oh, damn it. So there you have it. So now you see the difference. Okay, so you can see that, and then you can put the legend. Unfortunately, it will give zeros. So, and then where you need the data, it won't give you the data labels in Power BI work. Not very good, to be honest. But anyhow, it just gives you an idea of how big or small these things, the errors are. And then you can say, okay, here it was way off, here it was quite close, here it was like, we can let it go because, you know, it didn't once fail and then it's still in range. How cool is that? So now I think that it would be okay to actually remove these things. So here you see where the problem was, and here you see how much the anomaly was. And then you can visualize it. And then you have to format it so it looks good. I mean, this doesn't look good. So you have to make it the proper design. But that's another video for another day. We're already 20 minutes in, so I don't want to make this way too big. But this is it. So, question, can you do this in Power BI service? Yes, you can. Here's the thing. Cognitive services for Power BI in the service work only with premium licenses. I know. And I don't understand why. I was so disappointed when I heard it, actually. I was really, same with machine learning, only premium licenses. Like, why would you do that? Isn't it better? I think machine learning is for pro too. It's only cognitive services that is for premium, I think. And still, cognitive services, they have a lot of useful APIs that a lot of small companies could actually use for a price. I mean, these are paid services. You're paying. Ask to pay more. Whatever, but don't lock it on the premium tag. It makes no sense. I don't know if it has to do with technical issues. I truly hope so, because otherwise it should be available for anybody that wants to open the wallet and pay. My opinion. So, to be able to do this, you have to pass this through a data flow. I actually gave it a go with machine learning. You're going to see that next week, and I failed miserably with those data flows. So this is what we're going to do. Go and watch next week's auto machine learning demo that I did not do very well. And if you still want me to try these cognitive services in premium, I'll do it. Otherwise, I will wait for the next version until they have improved things a little bit, okay? But still, premium is just available for a handful. This is available for everyone. So you can do it in Power BI Desktop for everyone. That's why I show it here too. Okay, I'm going to stop talking. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give this API a go. It's gold. And let me know how it goes, okay? So I'll see you again on Friday with a DAX Fridays video. Wonder what that is. I already know, but I'm not going to tell you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.